I'm not a fan of insultingly low pay and being treated like an employee without any of the benefits. I want to be treated like an independent contractor. Either I take the order or I don't, with no games and no strings attached. I started driving at the height of the lockdowns, and like most delivery drivers, when I started, I was activated on DoorDash first. But it didn't take me long to start seeing the cracks in their system. What's going on, everybody? I'm Zach Drives Fast for the RideShare Guy, and in this video, we're going to talk about chronic DoorDash dependency and what we as drivers can do to become less dependent on one specific app. I want to start this video by addressing why almost every delivery driver starts with DoorDash. The barrier of entry is low, and they have the market share. Let's quickly analyze both of these. As long as you don't have a lengthy criminal record, chances are pretty good that you can drive for DoorDash. No insurance, no questions asked. Right off the bat, this is going to attract the wrong type of driver, and of course, as we all know, not all drivers fall into that category. Having said that, it does send the wrong message to the wrong group of people. What about the market share? Sure, it's the app that everybody's heard of and most people have tried at least once. But that doesn't mean that that's where the quality customers are. Come on, you can't make me believe that DoorDash customers think that the tips that they leave on that app are acceptable. I mean, what's standard tipping practice? 15 to 20%. I will never believe that they think $3 for an order going 10 miles is reasonable. This brings me to one of the first problems I have with DoorDash and one of the many reasons that they're an afterthought for me. Customers didn't just all of a sudden forget how to tip. The app is suggesting these insultingly low tips, and customers assume that we're getting paid reasonably for the orders we're delivering on top of the insultingly low tip. As we all know, of course we're not, but DoorDash isn't being transparent with customers either. DoorDash is a business, so they're in it to maximize their money, not our money. See, the fees are non-negotiable, unlike the tip. If they don't pay the fees, the order isn't placed. However, they can damn sure place an order without a tip. The fact of the matter is, in many markets, DoorDash just doesn't pay the drivers very well. In many cases, customers can spend upwards of $10 in fees per order, and meanwhile, the driver ends up with about 2 of it. While we can't directly negotiate with our customers, we can give ourselves somewhat of a competitive edge by running DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Instacart, Shipt, Spark, and Roadie. That is the closest thing that we will ever get to negotiation. Sure, DoorDash does have the market share, but what if they only pay a third on average of what the other apps pay? You're just putting more miles on your car for the privilege of taking lower paying orders. Okay, this one might not age very well, but scheduling is another reason that I typically tend to avoid DoorDash. Chances are extremely high that you're not one of their W-2 employees, and therefore, it should be completely on you to choose when you drive, not when they dictate that you can. Don't get me wrong, there are a couple of other apps that you have to somewhat schedule. For example, catering apps. But the difference with those is they say, hey, we have guaranteed work available between this time and this time. Who wants it? You see what I'm getting at here? If you agree to take those catering orders, you are guaranteed to get paid. Unlike DoorDash. If you drive in a larger market, look into apps like Delivered and Deliver That. As of now, most of them are not oversaturated. I can't speak for your market, but over the last few months in mine, Grubhub of all apps has been picking up. And sure, the vast majority of the orders are still the crappy $1 per mile on average Grubhub orders. But they do it right and you don't have to schedule. If you're activated, you have no excuse for not running the app. The same thing is true with Uber Eats. In the vast majority of markets, you don't have to schedule to drive for them. So, make your money while you can before they go the way of DoorDash and start treating us like fake employees. If none of these options sound appealing to you, you are welcome to wait around until the DoorDash map turns red so you can dash now for lower pay and higher miles. Regardless of which avenue you take, just make sure you make smart decisions about when and where you fill up on gas. The RideShare Guy partners with Upside to make sure you're getting the best price on gas as well as cash back for the gas you were already going to buy. There's a link in the description for Upside, and if you use it, you'll get a bonus on your first use and you'd be helping support the RideShare Guy, so go click that link. The next thing that I want to talk about is how DoorDash plays games with your acceptance rate. When you have a W-2 job, certain things are expected of you, and failure to do those things could result in you getting fired. DoorDash knows that they can't deactivate us for a low acceptance rate. So, they did the next best thing, and got creative and started manipulating drivers with mind games. Let me ask you this. What does DoorDash give their drivers if you raise your acceptance rate to 70%? In most markets, just the ability to dash now, something that you should have by default. Many drivers wrongfully believe that their top dasher status is going to get them the highest paying orders as well as priority to those orders, but that's bullshit and has been for over a year. If you have a high acceptance rate in a market that frequently turns red, all you're doing is driving your car into the ground for less pay. Let me ask you this. Would you rather have some fancy banner on your dasher account or a comma in your bank account? I'll take the comma with no games and no bullshit. DoorDash is unique in the sense that they make drivers feel like it's a privilege to press dash now, and they've been very successful in tricking drivers into believing that. That's part of the reason that so many drivers fell for Top Dasher and the Diamond program. They thought that they were getting something that they weren't actually getting. I want to be clear. I'm not telling you not to do DoorDash or to uninstall the app. I'm telling you to be less reliant on an app that treats you like an employee when it benefits them and an independent contractor when it doesn't. In the beginning of the video, I used the phrase chronic DoorDash dependency. I want you to stop for a moment and think about that. Rhetorical question. How reliant are you on DoorDash? They're not at all reliant on you. Chances are they've got at least 50 drivers behind you waiting to take your place. If I'm right, 2024 is going to be the hardest year yet for gig drivers. This is not the time to be acting like a pseudo-employee. How many apps are you activated on? If DoorDash deactivated you tomorrow, are you confident that you could still get by? If your answers were less than a lot and no, I strongly encourage you to experiment with different methods of making money through various gig apps. Drivers almost never see deactivations coming. They just happen, and then we're up shit creek blindsided. Make sure you're giving yourself as many avenues as you can to succeed. There's one final thought that I want to leave you with. Gig apps should be viewed as nothing more than a booking service. That's all they do. They book the order. They're not cooking the food, and they're damn sure not transporting it. They're just booking it. Is that worth 80% of the money? Well guys, that is going to about wrap up the video. If you haven't done so yet, please do consider pressing the like button and subscribing to the RideShare Guy. You can catch my videos here every Tuesday. If this video resonated with you, check out this video next where I drop dime on 5 truths DoorDash and Uber Eats don't want drivers to know. I'm Zach Drives Fast for the RideShare Guy. Take care.